Hey everybody, it's Anna and welcome back to my BookTube channel. Before I get started today, I just wanted to say this will be kind of a two-part video. I'm going to do the BookTube Newbie Tag, and I'm also going to talk a little bit about an author event that I attended earlier today. So let's go ahead and start with the author event since it's a little bit shorter. I went to the book launch party for the novel You'll Miss Me When I'm Gone. This is a young adult debut novel by an author, Rachel Lynn Solomon. She is local to Seattle, which is where I live. So that was really cool to get the chance to meet a Seattle author, and I'll show you, I have my book signed. She had this adorable little stamp here that's like a umbrella with rain, which if you've ever been to Seattle is super appropriate. And the bookstore that had the signing also gave us these really cool bookmarks that have a quote from the book. Just to give you a little idea of what this is about in case you would be interested in reading it. You'll Miss Me When I'm Gone is the story of these two twin sisters. They're both 18 years old, facing like the normal growing pains of being high school seniors at a very transitionary period in their lives. However, they are about to take a genetic test to determine whether they inherit Huntington's disease. It is a degenerative condition that is similar to something like Alzheimer's or Parkinson's, and their mother has it, which means that there is a 50% chance of each twin inheriting the disease. So they kind of are like conflicting about whether they actually want to get tested, whether it's better to know that you're going to develop something like this or not know and kind of like live in an ignorance is bliss state. The book also explores coming of age themes. It explores Jewish identity, which is something that I really appreciated, and like the often complex relationship between sisters. I'm only on chapter 5 of the book because it just came out on Tuesday, I think. The 2nd? I think that was Tuesday. Yeah, it was. So I didn't have time to finish it before actually going to this author event, but I really am enjoying the book so far. It's told in alternating point of view chapters between Tova and Adina, who are the two sisters, and I'm really looking forward to seeing where this book is going to go next. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the BookTube Newbie Tag. I have the questions on my phone right here, and yeah, let's get started. Okay, question 1, why did you start this channel? I kind of touched on this in my last video, mainly because I have been watching BookTube for about 3 years now, and I decided that it was probably time for me to start adding like my thoughts and my voice to the conversation. Number 2, what are some fun and unique things that you can bring to BookTube? Not really sure how to answer this one, mostly because since I'm still so new to it, I'm trying out different styles of videos that I'd like to make. I like to read a lot of like queer themed books and just like different and interesting, I don't know, weird books. So I think maybe I'll like bring some books that you don't hear a lot of people talk about, but I don't really know because I also like, you know, popular fiction, popular YA. Yeah, I don't really know how to say that, what I'm really going to bring to it. I'm just hoping to enjoy the process of making these videos. Number 3, what are you most excited for about this new channel? Again, just like giving myself the challenge to like be consistent about talking about what I'm reading with other people and hopefully getting to like make some new friends through this as well. Why do you love reading is number 4. That's a super difficult question to answer. I guess the lazy way out is to say that I love reading because I always have. I don't actually remember a time in my life when I didn't know how to read. And then there's all the usual stuff about like books being able to transport you to different worlds. I think I like the way that reading enables me to kind of stretch my brain and my experience beyond the limits of what I encounter in my everyday life. I think I like the way that it broadens my mind and my imagination, and the way that it brings me to other people, to be able to make connections with other people. What book or series got you into reading? Again, this is kind of like a difficult question to answer because I've always been a really big reader, but I guess maybe like some books or series that kind of like kept me staying on that path especially as like a kid and a teenager, were the Series of Unfortunate Events by Lemony Snicket and Pillars of the Earth by Ken Follett and Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. Those are three very different kind of like books and series, but those were definitely like formative reading experiences in my younger years. Number 6, what questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? Oh my god. I get so tongue-tied when I meet people that I look up to. It's just kind of awkward because I'm like, hi, thanks for coming. I would probably just ask them if we could like go out for coffee and a chat, nothing super formal, but just, I don't know, to get the chance to know them better and talk about some reads that we have in common. Yeah, other than that, I'd probably just stand there silently. Number 7, what challenges do you think starting a BookTube channel will be the hardest to overcome? Probably just insecurity and self-doubt leading to lack of consistent posting. That's something that I kind of struggle with when it comes to making personal goals and things like that, is that I tend to talk myself out of doing it. But as long as I can avoid that, it's probably going to be fine. Oh, here we go. Question number 8. When did you start reading? I started reading when I was a very little kid. The first book that I can remember reading was a little golden book that's called The New Baby. I was really obsessed with this book because I had recently gotten a baby sister, so that was kind of cool. But my mom tells me that I was actually able to read earlier than that. She said that there was a time when I was like reading Thumbelina out loud to her in the back of the car while she was driving. So I don't actually remember that, but I was reading pretty young. Number 9, where do you read? Everywhere, wherever I can without getting totally motion sick, which means I tend to not read a lot on like public transportation for long trips. But I guess I read mostly in my house. Bed, couch, coffee shop, standing up, sitting down, wherever I can. I listen to audiobooks and like audio fiction via podcasts as well, so I guess that could count for something. And number 10, what kinds of books do you like to read? Again, I think I kind of answered this in my first video, but I really like to read science fiction and fantasy. That's the genre that I gravitate most towards right now. But I also like to read YA fiction, just like regular adult fiction. The only genres I don't tend to read a ton of are like straight up romance novels. I don't really mind romance in books, but I've never really gelled super great with romance as a genre. And like business books. I don't read a lot of business books, but I read other nonfiction books. I read like nonfiction books about science or history, biography, you know, like the big dad books. I like dad books. They're really cool. So that is it for the BookTube Newbie Tag. I hope that you all enjoyed getting the chance to learn a little more about me and my goals for this channel, as well as this book, which I'm so excited to keep reading. Let me know downstairs in the comments, doobly-doo, if you have any ideas for future videos or things that you'd like to see, questions you'd like to ask. And if you enjoyed this and the last video, please subscribe to see more. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!